America, you are in the middle of a hostile takeover. The kind of takeover that Europe just went under. You've been watching it from the distance. You've been waiting for it because America is a civilization in its own. But let me break it to you, my dear Americans. Yes, you are culturally very rich. You've got guns. You view free speech and your Western values, American values, very differently from your fellow Europeans. They know about the strengths and the weaknesses of America. Yes, even Europe hasn't fallen yet. I have high hopes for Europe, but I have even higher hopes for America because at this point, the Islamists are gaining ground. Whether that's putting up more Islamist candidates to run for the Senate or the House of Representatives, or Muslims running for mayor, and soon you'll see Muslim governors too, Muslim senators, Muslim House of Representatives, in addition to what you already have, and God forbid, one day, a Muslim president. Now, this may all seem very far-fetched, but where were you 10 years ago? 10 years ago, you didn't have a single Muslim senator. Now you have 4, and you're looking at possibly 6 or 7. They have a plan. They're spreading their tentacles. They are building mega cities, mega mosques.
A very critical battle over the soul of America is playing out right now, and it's in the heart of Texas. It's actually happening all over the country, but especially in Texas. Hundreds of concerned citizens packed the city council chambers in McKinney, Texas last week. And for more than 5 hours, they voiced fierce opposition to this massive new mosque complex. Opponents warned of the impact not just to the local community, but to the United States as a whole. People who grew up under Sharia law were there to point out how it and the Quran fundamentally clash with the U.S. Constitution.
Yes.
Goldie, I know you've studied how authoritarian ideologies like Islam take root. Explain how Islamists and radical Muslims are using America's civil liberties and local zoning laws to literally just take over American communities.
This is exactly how Islam operates. And, we Iranians, we understand very clearly how the Islamic regime works and how Sharia law works. And Americans need to ask themselves this very important question. How many churches has Saudi Arabia allowed to be built in Saudi Arabia? If you look up the answer is 0. So why is it that, there are 56 Muslim countries and, they can build mosques wherever, but you can't build a church in Saudi Arabia, and yet they're mass importing to the United States, importing their ideology with them, and then they're taking advantage of the civil liberties and freedom of religion and freedom of rights in the United States to import their ideology. This is all part of the civilizational jihad that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Islamic regime occupying Iran wants to bring to the United States. It happened to Iran in 1979, and now it's slowly happening to Americans.
It happened in Lebanon too, by the way. That was Goldie Gamari. And in addition to no churches in Saudi Arabia, countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, even Malaysia and Indonesia, Muslims over there have been regularly burning down churches along with many other North African Muslim countries. They're even more violent. A lot of people say, what do we do, Harris? We do have a constitution. We do believe in freedom to practice religion. There's a very easy solution, but it requires a lot of political will. Islam is not just any other religion. It's not a religion. It's a political doctrine. It's a political manual. This is why Muslim leaders in the West, in America, and in the Muslim world, they keep telling you about their political ambitions. They want to take over America. They believe they have already taken. Actually, you know what? Forget about this. Let me show you America's most prominent Muslim imam, Yasir Qadhi. Listen to him, how he's celebrating Abdul al-Sayyid's victory and how he's explaining that this is a stepping stone. And after that, you're going to get more and more. How do we know this? Because K and the Muslim Brotherhood, their speakers have already told us that their goal is to get up to 50 congressmen and work towards getting a Muslim president one day. All of that is happening right before our eyes in real time. So even though we have a lot of Americans talking up about that, and I'm happy about it, and I want more, and I want that number to grow even more. But know this, at this point in time, at this point in American history and Western history, broadly speaking, we haven't come up with a feasible solution to stop the advance of Islam. We haven't come up with it. Why? Because they know You have free speech. You have equal voting rights. You can put up your candidates. They know all of these things. They know all of these things. They know they cannot conquer America militarily. Let them try it. It wouldn't even be a fair contest. It wouldn't even be a contest. It won't be a fair contest. I mean, they have tried that in the past, by the way. They have learned their lesson. They've said, flying planes into their buildings, killing them. Well, they F two of our countries, Iraq and Afghanistan, just because we killed 3,000 of their civilians. In exchange, American wars, not America directly, but American wars resulted in the deaths of millions of Muslims just because they became adventurous. But don't worry about that. They still have that element within that ideology too. You saw that on October the 7th, 2023. They always have this, they have this remarkable ability to convince mothers to give up their sons for martyrdom, to advance the Islamic cause, which is to spread Islam all over the world. They have this remarkable capability. This is why they keep producing these highly dogmatic, suicidal fanatics. They keep producing that. But at the same time, they have also worked out we might not succeed that way. This is a better way. This is a more tangible way of subduing the West. Listen to Yasir Qadhi.
Not understand that in Michigan, we need to come together to vote for the right candidate. In Texas, we need to come together to get evil people out of office. In Florida, we need to come together to vote Randy Fine and others out of office. So you had
Randy Fine is one of the biggest critics of Islam. And he's saying evil people. Evil people. You're evil because you stand up for American values. You don't think women should be dressed in bin bags. You don't think homosexuals or dissidents should be killed or beheaded. You don't think that. Because on the civilizational ladder, you're right at the top. You're at the top. You're the most advanced, you're the most civilized society. These barbarians are not. They're still getting their morality. They're still getting their moral code from a book that was co-authored by a 7th century Bedouin. That's where they're getting the morality from. You're not them, but you're evil, and they have a plan for you.
Abdul on the one side, and you had a career politician on the other. And yet still she lost. Truly, this is phenomenal. And this is, inshallah ta'ala, a clear indication that the sentiment of the people is changing. When we start preaching the truth, in the beginning, there's going to be the backlash.
He would not have won if it wasn't for Muslims just voting for him because he's Muslim. I saw a stat somewhere, and again, like it wasn't all just Muslims, because that's where you got to account for that as well. These Muslims are going to have, they need a little bit of support from the left as well. You know, the left that is always drowning in its own ideological dogma that, oh, we have to just elect a brown person because it's brown. We have to elect a woman just because she's a woman. We don't care about their policies. It's like that. So they have their own Muslim voting bloc, which will 90% of them will vote for their Muslim guy, no matter what. And then they need just some more people from the left who will vote for them. And that's why they lie, and that's where they lie, and that's where they do Takia. This guy, Abdul, he's such a phony Islamist. He's caught on camera saying that, hey, don't feature my Quran books because I want to present my secular image.
What's the other one?
You're going to want to not get these things in the shot.
Oh, okay. I don't think we
Don't get this in the shot.
Try to keep the shot secular.
Want to keep the shot secular. Takia, guys, this is Takia in action. And he's celebrating it. Why? Why wouldn't he celebrate it? At this point, they have forgotten about their differences, whether you're Sunni or a Shia or a lipstick-wearing Muslim or a moderate Muslim or a radical Muslim. None of that matter. None of that matters because in their eyes, you, the West, and obviously America, is the main enemy that they have to conquer.
Oh, you Abduls. Oh, you Osamas, because Abdul's brother is Osama. Oh, you Osamas, or this or that. You know, all of this racism is going to come. Take it. Take it. Don't you have in the Prophet a role model? Didn't he take worse than you? Take it. There's no way forward. You cannot run away. Take the bigotry and then smile back and push back gently. Say, no, this I want good for the world. I want good for my country. This is what we learned from Abdul's methodology as well. He kept on bringing talking points that resonate with average people, right? The far right jumps on it. Oh, the Muslims. No, this is American democracy in action.
Which they don't believe in, by the way. There is no democracy in the caliphate. This is American democracy. We're only playing by your rules. Yeah, you're exploiting them because you have a dagger in your pocket. You're hiding a dagger behind your backs, which you're going to stab Americans with. If you don't believe in free speech, if you don't believe in democracy, why should we allow you to take part in it? In the Islamic Caliphate, there is no democracy. The UAE, by the way, is the only Muslim country that you can trust at the moment. That's the only Muslim country that you can trust because they're the only ones who want to westernize themselves. Yes, they still have their own type of governance. It's a monarchy, whatnot, but they're the only ones out of the Muslim world who are constantly warning the West about the dangers of the Muslim Brotherhood and K. They're the only ones because they have seen that Muslims living in the West, they are more puritanical. They are much closer to the Islam of Muhammad because they were given these liberties by Western democracies to practice your religion however you see fit. Books that are banned in the Muslim world about some really horrible medieval Islamic practices. Books that are banned in the Muslim world, you can easily find them in London and Sydney. People have done that. So, as a result, the Muslims that you've got in the West, they are more hardcore than the Muslims living in Pakistan. Yes, you would find hardcore Muslims over there too, but they have no power. For example, Pakistan. Pakistan has a semi-functioning democracy. Okay, Pakistani prime minister is not a radical. Pakistani prime minister would not talk like this, nor he would have these ambitions. He will have his own political ambitions, or he will have his own Pakistani interests, etc. But they're not theocracies. They're not governed by radical Muslims. But CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood and Hizb ut-Tahrir and all these pro-Palestinian movements in the West, they're operating under the manual of radical hardcore Islam. The UAE, thanks to them, they have told us. Actually, let me play you this prophetic video because it's important for you to understand this.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
They know Islam. I know Islam. Muslims know Islam. The Islam that is flourishing in the West, I did not see that Islam in Pakistan when I was growing up in Pakistan. This is a very determined, this is a very dominating form of Islam. It has this mission to conquer the world. And why not conquer America? The pinnacle of Western civilization, the most powerful country in the world, the greatest fighting machine ever created by mankind. Why not take them? Take America out. You got everything. Israel, Palestine, American hegemony, American control over all these other countries, all gone. And not only just that is gone, I think they might have started with, okay, let's just destabilize America, because if America gets destabilized internally, then that's fine. No, but how? We actually can go one step better. Why not take over America and then acquire American resources for our own Islamic agenda? I know it's a very far-fetched goal, but do not be complacent. Do not think that that's not what they're planning. That's what they have done throughout their 1400-year history.
We are allowed to vote. We're allowed to raise issues. So this isn't a stealth jihad, as the far right says. Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect.
On the one hand, he said, oh, the far right accuses us of silent jihad. But then in the next clip, he says, this is modern jihad. The modern jihad is not fought through the sword. It is fought through the ballot box. I remember seeing another video of his a while ago. I played it on my channel where he did say that the next jihad is through the ballot paper.
So this isn't a stealth jihad, as the far right says. Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants the Sharia political engagement about the establishment of a Islamic political system entity to enact, these realities of the Sharia. Participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballot. Let's learn some
Yeah, there you go. That's the clip that I think, not through the bullet, but by the ballot.
lessons. This didn't come out of the blue. The fact of the matter is that this win from Abdul, it required a coordinated campaign.
Coordinated campaign. It is always Islam versus the rest of the world. Everywhere you look at, Thailand, China, Myanmar, those countries, who they have a problem with? Not with Christians, not with Jews, not with Buddhists. There might be Buddhists themselves, but it's always Islam. The common denominator on every single continent, it's Islam. Why? Because it's a troublesome manual. It's a troublesome doctrine. It seeks to destroy other cultures and take over. Muhammad has said it many times. The Quran tells Muslims to do that. And it has a very aggressive tool at its disposal, which is jihad.
Grassroots efforts, activism, multiple faith groups were involved. Coordinated effort, campaign, strategy, unifying amongst ourselves in spite of differences. People of different aqidas, different religions came together. When I tell a Christian, Chalcedonian, or even a Baptist or a Protestant, hey, let's vote for the right guy, it doesn't mean I'm endorsing his theology.
Yeah, I'm just using it as means to my goal. And those Methodists or whatever those people are who fall for your propaganda, they will find soon enough, like the left will. This is another clip from the same sitting.
The winning of somebody like our brother Abdul Rahman in this regard, it is a catalyst. It will change the mindset. It is a lesson. Now the next candidate who was a little bit hesitant to stand against AIPAC, Abdul's victory will give that candidate more courage. It's a game changer. It's an opening of the doors. It's the first catalyst. It's the first domino.
That's what I meant by they are gaining ground.
And the average person around the world, in Europe is long changed. We are the last country. You look at Spain and its leaders. Look at so many countries. I said
they've all become dhimmis. You know that. You've seen that. You've seen how far the UK has fallen. This is the UK. I have to remind, I'm sorry. This is London. Look at that. Not a single Brit inside. Not even those wokes who vouch for these people, who protect these people, but they don't live amongst them. Why? Where are the white people? The woke mind virus is unarguably the worst thing that has happened to the Western world. That's why, even though there might be subtle differences between Australia and America and the UK and Canada and France and Germany, but because we have common values, because we have shared values, that's why we have shared problems as well. We have a very dumb, mindless left that has a suicide fetish. It's not suicidal empathy. It's a suicide fetish. They have a suicide fetish and they're going to take us down with them. This is why people who support this, people who support the colonization of their own country, they're self-loathing people. They hate themselves. They hate their history and culture. And they say, yeah, that's good. They're opening the gates for these people. So we're going to have to fight on two fronts. The mindless woke and obviously these very determined and very clever Islamists.
I told you I was in Iceland. I'm seeing free Palestine in the street, in the villages of Iceland.
Idiots.
I saw it.
That's why you have to understand this is the reason why I support Israel. Israel is holding these people at the bay. Their attention is diverted. Who do you think they will divert their full attention to once Israel falls? You might argue that if Israel falls, then they will not have a reason to exploit their grievance. Let me say that again. You might argue that once Israel has fallen, then they wouldn't have anything to cry about. Well, you obviously don't know Islamic history. Muslims even today are telling you that, do you think we'll love Jews and Christians even if we conquered Israel? No, they won't. Muslims have been fighting the West since its inception. They went all the way to Spain and they were trying to make it into France, and then Charles Martel pushed them back, and then it took Europe 700 years to kick them out of Europe. It took them that long. Where were the Jews then? Jews were scattered all across Europe, and some were even living under the Muslims. You are extremely naive and mistaken if you think that by giving them Israel or not worrying about Israel would somehow get these people off your back. They're not stopping. They will only stop when they are stopped through force. That's the only way. And this is why I support Israel, because I know it is absolutely critical. Israel is the gatekeeper of Western civilization.
With my own eyes, free Palestine, in the middle of nowhere. In Spain, you see everywhere. So Europe long. America is the final stronghold. And I say this election has shown, by and large, the public now, they're sick and tired of it. The real enemy are the Zionist apartheid regime. That's the enemy. We can agree to disagree amongst ourselves in a civil manner. So this is high time we mention this explicitly. So bottom line, O Muslims, persevere, be patient. This is not the end game. This is one aspect.
They are highly motivated, guys. I'll just end this video with this chilling message from K. They've told us many times what their plan is.
The image of Islam. But we cannot do it only by being in the streets. We have to be in the halls of Congress. We have to be in the newsrooms. We have to be in the classrooms.
Brainwash the next generation.
We have to be in the books. And we have to be in the courts and in the courts of public opinion.
For propaganda purposes, like Mehdi Hassan.
To do that, we have to be organized. And we have to be good planners. Because this is really the essence of our faith. So here's the homework. We have 4,000 mosques nationwide. I urge every mosque, and take this message to your board of directors of the mosques and your imams.
4,000 mosques. Now you understand the purpose of these mosques? These mega mosques that are just sprouting everywhere, all across America, Florida, Texas, everywhere. They're springing up out of nowhere. That's exactly what they did in Europe. Shut them down. Shut them down. I don't know what Trump is doing. Seriously, I don't understand.
Every mosque should have a special fund for scholarship. 5 scholarships every year. 1 scholarship for journalism. Another one for filmmaking. A third one for law. A 4th one for political science. A 5th one for history and humanities. If we start in 2025, 4 years from now, we are going to have how many? 4,000 new attorneys for the Muslim community. 4,000 new filmmakers. 4,000 journalists. 4,000 students of political science, and 4,000 potential teachers of history. In 15 years from now, if we are persistent, we will end up with 50,000 more attorneys for the Muslim community, 50,000 journalists, 50,000 filmmakers, 50,000 political commentators, and 50,000 teachers of history and humanity.
50,000 Mehdi Hassans.
And therefore, we can tell our story about Islam.
We can tell our story. We have a rough road ahead, guys. This is no time to be complacent. But the enemy that is coming from the east, the enemy that has almost rolled over Europe as though it's a second-grade civilization,